Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Saturday here in Moscow, or Saturday early evening. It's just gone 6:30 here, and I thought I'd do a Saturday live stream. I should have done it either an hour earlier or an hour later, so I'm sorry that the time's a little bit messed up with when I started or when I ended. I think maybe not too many people will be live watching, but if you're here, thank you so much. The more people that can post in the comments, the better. Again, just let me know as usual what the quality is, the picture is like, and the sound, because I'm always worried that it's not coming out as good as it should or as good as it could. I guess that's the right thing. I did notice that there is a bit of a reflection on my glasses when I look up at the camera. So because it's sort of still daylight outside here, it's a little bit awkward for the lighting. So yeah, a couple of people here are already live. Grey Wolf, hello. Also, you're a channel member as well. Thank you for being part of the channel. It is kind of a nice way. Well, I think it's a nice way to support the channel. Beyond, I guess, watching videos and posting comments. So thank you so much for joining. It's not a cooking stream, no. It was either do the cleaning up and the washing up and cleaning the kitchen, or sit and do a live stream. And I guess you realize what I've chosen. I was going to do a community poll, but I decided that it was easier just to go ahead and do the live as it was. So is it my computer? No, the stream has started. I was a couple of minutes over time. My wife just got home and she's gone straight out to the shops to buy something for dinner. And I just needed to look online at the shop she's going to, what we can buy, so she gets the right thing. When we're not shopping together, we always, half the time, we buy the wrong thing for each other. So I thought I'd just quickly look online. So yeah, thank you, Grey Wolf. Mad Phoenix, hello. Grey Wolf, hello. Jaroslav, Phil, I guess it's Phil. Hi, Russell. Do you have a dishwashing machine? It's such a cool device. There is actually one in this apartment, but it kind of plays up a little bit. If anyone has watched the video of this tour of this apartment prior to us moving in, and it was for rent when we actually rented it out, it all looked amazing, and everything's so fancy and shiny. And then slowly everything is just a little bit older, and it's the original thing that was built when this complex was built, and whoever did the finishing, whoever the owner is, this is what's still here since just on 10 years. I think this building was been here. So the button plays up on the start when you go to start the cycle for dishwashing. So it's easy just to wash the dishes in the sink, although it's obviously a little bit harder than just putting it in and pressing start. We have had a guy come and look at it, and he couldn't figure it out. And he was just a plumber, not a dishwashing machine guy. So he mostly looked at the pipes underneath and things like that. So, wow, so nice that there's 8 likes. Thank you so much for putting likes or thumbs ups on the video. It's so nice of you. Thank you. If you are talking in Russian, I can't read Russian. So if anyone does understand Russian and wants to translate vaguely, you're more than welcome to. If anyone wants to put where they're from in the comments as well, it's always nice to know where people are watching from around the world. It's interesting how we can bring a community together, right? From all over the world watching one screen, I guess. So yeah, if you want to do that, you're more than welcome just to type where you're from. You don't have to ask questions if you don't want. It's not a problem. How is it that there's 19 votes on the poll and it's almost 50-50? Washing up and clean the kitchen is 47%. What's going on with the poll? And 53% want a live stream. So cleaning the kitchen versus a live stream. So RP, I'm going to say hello. I'm not sure what you've typed there. Mozzie, hello. Lights, camera, action. Yes. Sound and picture, all good. Thank you, Mozzie. Thank you. I think I replied to a couple of your comments today. I had a ton of comments to kind of try to work through about an hour. I tend to do about an hour per day answering comments, but the comments come a lot quicker than I can type them, which is kind of the tough part about it. So don't be lazy. Do the kitchen first. I did start to do it. And then I realized I'll either have to do the live stream at 8 or 9 p.m., which would be a couple hours from now, or I would have to have done it a couple hours earlier. And then I knew my wife was coming home from work almost all at the same time. Everything happened in the same 10 minutes. So, yes, thanks for... I am lazy sometimes, but I'm not a lot of other times. So I guess I'm less lazy than more lazy. I don't know if that's the right thing. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello from Nizhny Novgorod. Oh, somebody's here in Russia. Kurt, hello. How's it going? Moni from Canberra. Hello, Jan. How's it going? I watched, I guess in Canberra, you kind of caught between football codes, right? I guess you're more rugby league than AFL. I watched a little bit of football this morning. Was who was watching? Because of the 5 or so 7-8 hour time difference, right, with Russia and Australia. The AFL games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday are on early in the morning. So I watched, which game did I watch? I mustn't have been paying that much attention. I tend to put it on the other screen and then do something on the other screen on my computer here. But I watched a little bit of football this morning, and I'm waiting to watch a bit of the golf later on. So said something to the effect of, all people are brothers. Hello, Americans. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Grey Wolf, for the translation. Everyone has a dishwasher they call humans. That's right. Yes. It's sort of strange in our old apartment, the one that had the green and yellow walls. It was a little bit, I don't know, I guess it felt a bit more smaller in the kitchen and where the computer was set up in there, that the kitchen was a bit closer together. Whereas I feel like I'm in the lounge room and the kitchen is further away from the computer here to want to kind of put something on the screen and leave something playing, like a YouTube video or someone's live stream or the TV news live streaming. Then sort of going over there and doing it as a separate task. With this apartment, it's kind of where we are, the lounge room here, and then there's no wall. There'd normally be a wall here that separates the kitchen, well, over there. And then there'd be a door that you'd come in from over here, over there. My screen is flipped, so it's hard to point correctly. So where it's open plan, everything's obviously in the same place, right? So, Kurt, hello. I always used to do the dishes. Yeah, my wife and I kind of split doing it. I really should do it more when she's not home because I'm a little bit slower at doing it. I'm not a quick washer-upper. I kind of do a little bit, put it to drain, come back and dry it, put it away, come back and do a little bit more. So Marlene, hello. I think you commented on Sam's Russian Adventures group. If anyone doesn't know Sam's Russian Adventure channel, he has a new video out on a new channel called B Road Russia. B as in Bob, as in one letter, and then road, and then Russia. And he just put a new video where he went traveling further from where he lives in the region of Moscow. He lives up in the northeast of Moscow, up in the, is it called the Golden Ring? That's what it's called, Vladimir. And he went further north than where he lives. So, Bearbull Cruising, hello. How's it going? Again, another channel subscriber. Thank you so much to people who subscribe. Oh, no, channel member who is a member of the channel beyond being a subscriber. Wow, 30 people watching. That's really good for a little bit unscheduled. So that's always nice. It's nice to see people here. A Perth question. Have you been to Rottnest Island and seen the cute quokkas on your various travels? Yes, we didn't go this trip when we were at home because we were only there for 9 days. But I guess a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, since my wife was in Australia when we lived in Perth for during the COVID, basically that kind of period. We did go over to Rottnest once. I think I've pretty much done it about once every 3 or 4 years. My wife and I, we went over there. We got bicycles. We did this. It's a very typical thing. You sort of take the high-speed ferry over from Fremantle. You can do it from Perth, Fremantle, or up in Sorrento. Then you can rent bicycles. You can bring your own bikes. We don't have our own, but we rented 2, and then we rode around the island. We stopped at a few beaches for a swim. Basically, the quokkas, you can see them everywhere, mostly more so in the afternoon when they're hungry. They come out, and although you're not meant to feed the quokkas, people still feed them. And there's a lot more around the town area. Obviously, they know that by the afternoon, people are having food and lunch and snacks, and they like to hang around where the people are. Some of them are very frightened, and some are incredibly tame and timid, I guess, timid or tame. They are a wild animal, but they're kind of very cute. And everyone tries to get that selfie with the quokka. I think the famous one is from Roger Federer. He was probably the most famous one. My wife got a very good selfie. Mine didn't come out so well. I basically took her photo rather than her taking the camera selfie. So I got her to crouch down. And if anyone doesn't know what a quokka is, it's like a giant, cute rat, but it's huge. It's kind of bigger than a basketball. More like a beach ball sized rat, but they're kind of cute looking. So yeah, I've been a few times. I went a few years ago when I went alone over there, and I met some people on the ferry, and we hung out for the day who I just sat next to on the ferry when I've done it on my own. But Jen and I did it, I guess it was 3 years ago when we went over there. It's not a cheap trip to do the Rottnest trip. And there's a big argument about it, or there was a few years ago, that back before COVID, and the fact that cheap flights to Bali were so cheap, and you could do a flight without luggage, just, the carry-on bag on the low-cost airlines like AirAsia and Jetstar. And you could fly to Bali cheaper than you could go to Rottnest, which is an island, 20 kilometers off the coast of Perth. And that's kind of it was such a weird, it was a big thing in the local news at the time that the price of the ferries went up, the price of the bike rentals went up, the price of lunch at the cafe went up. I mean, you could bring your own bike, you could bring your own pack lunch, you could do things cheaper or cheaper. Yeah, there was that kind of, if you've got like husband, wife, and a couple of kids, it's an expensive day out to go to Rottnest because they've got kind of set prices for the ferries. Only so many different companies that do it. And you're kind of limited to whatever's there. So that one shop, that one cafe, that one drink place, and things like that. So why did you choose, Anvar, why did you choose Russia for living? Well, my wife is Russian. She's not really in any of the videos. She's maybe in 1 or 2 briefly. We met while I was on holiday in Thailand quite a lot of years ago. And then she invited me back to Russia to come and visit her. And essentially, I never left. I did leave. I had to go back to work and so forth. But we wanted to both live in Australia. That was the plan for my wife, to get the residency for Australia, which she now has. And I basically just took tourist visas to come to Russia back and forward because they're just much easier to apply for. They're pretty much fill out the form, send off the papers with your passport. A week or 10 days later, you get the visa. And it was easier for me to go to Russia than her to come to Australia. And then we decided we were going to obviously get married. We were dating and we got married. And then we eventually moved to Australia. But right when COVID happened, which was kind of probably the worst possible time to want to leave one country and go to another country, right? Because of all the lockdowns and all the restrictions and travel restrictions. So we ended up there, and then now we're back here. So I'm completely fine living here. I enjoy living here. I know a lot of people want me to say it's bad, this is bad, that's bad, this is bad, but it's not like that. You know what I mean? I can't necessarily be negative about places. Having worked on cruise ships and traveled the world on cruise ships, you see a lot of places very quickly on cruise ships. And not everywhere is like in the postcards and like on Instagram, right? And, even where we live here, we're not in Moscow where, about 50 kilometers. If I basically, as the crow flies from here to Moscow, to Red Square, basically, is what I call Moscow. Most people call Moscow the Makad, which is the big circular highway that circles Moscow. So people live how far from the Makad when you're outside of Moscow. So yeah, I chose to live here because my wife and I chose to live here, I guess. Go wash the dishes. Yeah, Inal, thank you. They're still sitting there. You can just see them, a little bit of them right there. That's kind of it's a bit hard to see from here. But I've kind of tidied up some things, and then there's still stuff on the table over here that I need to sort out as well. The kitchen table's always got something on it. It'll never be tidy. It's kind of like our open storage of things where we don't put it in a cupboard. So hello from Scottsdale, Arizona. Nice place. I'm obsessed with your videos. Thank you, Kathy. That's so nice to know that you like the videos. There's a ton on the channel now, so if you've only joined the channel recently, it will be easy to go back and watch older videos. I've been doing it for less than 2 years on this channel, so yeah, I'm in the process of slowly changing some of the titling of the videos as well. I'm trying to create a playlist of shopping centers and supermarkets, which is kind of quite a lot of the videos are made around. I'm trying to get away from that, Russian supermarket under sanctions after 6 months of sanctions, after 1 year of sanctions. I'm trying to basically maybe go back and name the place that I went to or the shopping center specifically. Because for a little while I was going to I didn't want to film everything in the same shopping center. Because maybe someone noticed that it was. I mean, you could definitely walk around one shopping center and make 5 videos and it not look like the same place. But I like to go to different parts of Moscow. There's about 40 shopping centers, big shopping centers anyway, that you can go to and make videos. Yeah, nice place. A lot of golfers live in Scottsdale. The ones that don't live in Florida live in Scottsdale or in Arizona, because of the weather being quite similar-ish, where you've got nice warm weather year-round. The Quokka sounds like to me, the Quokkas sounds like me. I like afternoons more than mornings. I like to make an appearance if there's food, but I don't like rats and soccer balls. Seriously, this is on my travel wish list. Yes, it's definitely somewhere that you've got to go at least once. Most people that live in Perth don't go there probably more than once every 3 or 4 or 5 years, maybe once every 10 years. I don't think my actual parents have ever been to Rottnest. My own parents have never been. I've probably been once with Jen, maybe twice in 10 years, 3 times. I think that's even just twice. Yeah, I'd rather just go to like the park in the city, Kings Park, or somewhere else. I can go to a local beach and have a swim. Where we were living in Perth, when we were living there, we were a couple of streets from the beach in Rockingham, which is further south of Perth. Well, not that far, but we're only 800 meters from the beach. So we didn't really have to go to Rottnest to go to the beach when we could go to the one where we live, or where we lived. So, so yeah, thank you, Kathy. Thanks for being obsessed with the channel. That's very nice of you to say that. Good. Sempre viva. Do you get tired of answering the same question since new subscribers seem to come to every stream? Like, why do you live in Russia? I guess it's the same question that comes up a lot. I really should make a why I came to Russia video, which is a standalone video. And then I can send everyone to watch that video. I guess that's something I should do. I'm not sure if is it getting dark for everybody, by the way? I'm just thinking that I should put my light on. I know it's not dark, but just give me a second. This one. Oh, that's very bright. Is that better? Is that too bright? That's a bit better, isn't it? Now there's really a bright shadow on my eyes now. Yeah, I really should do a standalone video that just deals um, with why I came to Russia or why I live in Russia. To answer that one question, I know it does come up a lot. Um, so yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm happy in live streams to do question and answers and back and forward. It's a little bit easier to answer it in a live stream than it is necessarily a question on a comment of a video. So yeah, you saw a notification of I like cruise ships. Yeah, I get sent videos from Royal Caribbean that I can use on my channel. Uh, as basically they're kind of press videos that are allowed to be reused in social media. So I put that on the channel. I'm thinking of going back and making videos there like I've done previously. If you maybe look at the last 20, 30 videos, I did some question and answer style videos where I did about a 10 or 15-minute video answer of a question. So one was about, well, it's different videos, but a question might be, should I bring a pen on my cruise? Should I bring a pen on my cruise? And you can make, well, probably not really a 15-minute video about it, but you could definitely answer a video because people ask questions, especially in Facebook groups, a lot about should I bring this? What should I bring? Should I bring, you know, can I bring chapstick? Can I get a chapstick on a cruise ship? What sort of things I should bring with me, or even just general questions about getting off in the ports. And I really like doing those Q&A style videos. They could become what's called evergreen content. So maybe short of going to a Facebook page or a group to ask a question, you could type it into YouTube or Google, and that question would be answered. I mean, obviously, there's a massive variety of questions or answers that you can do, but I was trying to look for stuff that are kind of common. Maybe like about seasickness, for instance, or should I bring a towel on my cruise? I've answered that question. Should I take my passport to the beach with me? When you get off in the port, and that's kind of things that I wanted to do question wise, especially when I'm not on a cruise ship and you've got a cruise ship channel. It was just interesting to do Q&A sort of stuff where I can sit here and, oh, I've got like a scratch on my eye. I just noticed that. Oh, sorry. It's interesting that I can continue that channel on without being on a cruise ship. Your kitchen still cleaner than mine. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's the thing is with it being kind of open plan, you always see it. Whereas if it was in a separate room, you can close the door and you don't see it, right? I mean, that's like a bedroom, the same thing, right? Whereas here, it's definitely kind of when you're sitting in the lounge room watching TV over here, you can kind of see the kitchen still. So, what is a Quokka? What is a Quokka? Let's see if we can find what is a Quokka. Google. Quokka. Oh, I spelt it right. QU. Now, let's pull up this. Share screen. Hopefully this will work. And I'll show you what a Quokka looks like. Hopefully this works. Pretty sure my technologiness. This is a Quokka, basically. It's basically a very cute rat. It's a small macropod about the size of a domestic cat. It's the only member of the genus Salopsis. And if I just go to images, there's lots of photos with famous people. I think that one is Liam Hemsworth, I think, isn't it? And everybody wants to get that Quokka selfie. And for some reason, they love to pose. To get that photo like that one, that's very, very, very difficult. You can't touch them, you can't handle them, you can't encourage them. It has to be kind of totally kind of spontaneous. So everybody's got the Quokka selfies, and they're only in a few places in Australia, and particularly on this island called Rottnest Island. A very beautiful place. It's just off the coast of WA, off the coast of Fremantle, anyway. Oh, they're not coming out very clear, these pictures. There it is. And everybody's goal is to get that Quokka selfie like everyone's doing here. And basically all the celebrities that come over want to come and get that photo as well. So, yeah, there's no transport on the island. There is only bicycles or bike rentals. There is a few government buses that run, and like a garbage truck, and I think the park ranger. Otherwise, there's no vehicles on the island whatsoever. You can bring a boat over from the mainland as well. On the ferry, that's pretty cool. Someone's skydiving, Rottnest. And there's bicycle paths around the whole island. Basically, you can spend a day like these guys here, rent a bike and go to the beach, and that's pretty much it. I think Federer, Quokka selfie. These are all the Google searches. Federer. How do you spell Federer? This was the photo that kind of went viral around the whole world, and it had hundreds of thousands of likes and shares. And there's even Rafa Nadal doing it as well. And basically everybody wanted to get that picture then afterwards of him getting the selfie photos. That was actually a little bit staged as well, unfortunately. The Tourism WA, which is the West Australian Tourism Board, basically brought him over to Rottnest to get the photograph. So they basically, I think they helicoptered him over. He was there for a few hours. He was playing a tennis tournament in Perth at the time. And he did the photograph. Look, it had 500,000 likes on probably on Instagram, I would imagine he put it on. There's all sorts of different ones that people do. So yeah, that's what a Quokka is. Sam did one why he was living in Russia. Yes. Yeah, I need to do one about why I live here, or how and what. I'd love to get my wife to be answering the questions at the same time. It's a wolf snack. Sam's been to, hello from Perth. Hello. I've been to Rottnest twice. Yeah, I think for people that live in Western Australia, generally as in the whole state, you might go once or twice, maybe in school at some point. And that's about it. You don't because it's not a cheap trip to go there. You're looking at a couple of $100 for between the ferry, having lunch, bike rental, going to the shop to get a drink or whatever you're going to do, some snacks, or if you go to the pub for lunch. It's not a cheap day out in Perth anyway, but it's a beautiful and amazing place. It's kind of a one-time thing that you do. Thanks for explaining it. You're welcome. Michael, hello. How's it going? Good to see you. I think that's a hand wave. That's my hand wave that I do on all the videos. So yeah, that's that. Let me just go back to this one so I can see. Oh, there's 41 likes. Thank you so much for anyone who's posted a like. I hope you like the live stream. I don't know what to say. I was kind of umming and ahhing doing a live stream from about lunchtime, and I should have scheduled it back at lunchtime for today to have it now, sort of thing. And then I was a little bit, I wasn't lazy, but I kind of planned out my day today. then I'm going to go film something tomorrow, or film 2 things, hopefully, tomorrow. Cruise ship question. How many people on average are employed to staff a cruise ship? Do people who assist the captain in cruising the ship, do they have ranks like in the Navy? Yes, Mozzie. Yeah. So on the last cruise ship that I was on was Carnival Horizon. My last ship was Carnival Dream before COVID happened. So Carnival Horizon, that was a new ship that launched 4 years ago. We went to the shipyard in Italy and brought the ship out from the shipyard. We started sailing from Barcelona. We did the Mediterranean. Then we did the transatlantic over to New York. That ship had 1,400 crew members on there. Passenger count was 4,400 at capacity. But 1,400 crew members, that's basically everybody from the captain down to me, I guess, or whoever the last man is on the ship, or lady. On the deck and engine, they've got officers, bridge and engine room officers. So there'll be the captain, and then staff captain is kind of the second in command. And then for the engine room, it would be chief engineer, staff chief engineer, and then you'd have officers. So you'd have like a safety officer, and then you'd have first officer, second officer, third officer. Then you'd have cadet officers in terms of for the deck and engine. And then for the engine room, you'd have like electrical engineer, first engineer, second engineer. You'd have maybe a diesel engineer who's in charge of the diesel engines. There's quite a few different roles. Officers also can be people that are on the like the hotel director, the housekeeping manager. Who else? I guess there'd be the bar manager, the hotel. Restaurant? What's it going to be? The food and beverage manager, assistant food and beverage manager. There's quite a lot of that. Would be basically what the would be striped officers. There's the people that were up on the bridge. So there's always at least 4 people on the bridge at any time. So there's always a senior person on watch and then a second person. So there'll always be a first officer with a second or third officer, or however the next person is. Then there's 2 bosun. No, what are they? Not bosuns. What are they called? The people that are up on the bridge. There's 2 people that are on the bridge with that. They're basically they're steering the ship. I can't remember the name of their position. Not bosuns. Bosuns. So there's always 4 people on the bridge at any time, no matter what happens. There can't be less than 4 people on the bridge. And then the captain is typically there either when the ship is arriving port, leaving port, and rough weather or rough seas or incidents, accidents, whatever you want to call them. So pop ads are annoying. I'm going to come back to yours, Sempre, in a second. Yeah, this is something new that I've noticed with YouTube, that it's doing this on live streams. It's something that is, I guess, unavoidable. Or unavoidable. I've noticed on this stream and the last stream it had it. Now, what I do is I only put ads on the live stream after it's finished. You can't actually put them on straight away. It takes about a half an hour to an hour after the live stream's finished that you can then place what's called mid-roll ads, which is what my normal video, most of my normal videos that are 20 to 30 minutes long will have 4 ads. I just spread them about every 10 or 15 minutes apart, or 10 minutes apart, and just space them out. This pop-up ads during a live stream, I think this is a new thing. I've not actually watched or heard anything about it I watch a few different YouTube channels where they teach you about YouTube. But I noticed on this one and the last one that it's coming up. So had ads when, you're right. Yeah, this is something, again, it's new to me as well. There's nothing I can do on the YouTube studio, which is the screen off to the side here, that just shows me screen health, viewer activity, analytics, stream settings, how many viewers, average view duration, concurrent viewers. You can't unclick something here to take that away. This is one thing when YouTube has its what's called partner program. They originally didn't have ads on channels that were small creators, so under 1,000 subscribers, where you get the partner program with mid-roll ads and ads. And then YouTube changed it a few years ago where any video of any creator can get ads on them, even though they don't get paid ad revenue. So if you've got 50 subscribers and you put a video on a channel, or 3 subscribers, YouTube has the right to put an ad on it and claim ad revenue for themselves that the creator doesn't get because they're not over the 1,000 subscriber threshold. By the way, your videos and streams have a way of uplifting folks. Wow, you always give off positive and optimistic vibes. Is there something that can make you mad? Can you give a real life example? Make me mad? It's always silly things. I know that's weird, but there's a lot of silly things that trigger. It kind of triggers me. I guess you can say that about making you mad. Like, for instance, catching the bus home yesterday. People not push in line, but they go to the front of the line to get on the bus rather than lining up. And in Moscow, at the bus stations and the bus stops where I catch my buses, there's a nice, neat line for everybody. And then people just barge up to the front of the line or just try to jump in the line. And that triggers me a lot, that people just aren't patient. And I give them what for in English. And maybe they don't understand. But I know people around me who know English understand what I'm telling them. If anyone follows my Telegram page, Traveling with Russell channel, I think it's called, I posted a few photos from last Sunday when we went for Monday. What day was Victory Day? The 9th. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday. Oh, it was Victory Day. We went to some friends on the other side of Moscow, and we went to a park where they live, and they had Victory Day events there, and there was a line for food, for free food. And obviously that line was crazy long for free food. There was actually quite a lot of them, like different food stations, and people just cutting in lines all over the place. And that gets me mad. That's only one thing, but there's others, but that's the main worst one that I don't like. I didn't know YouTube livestream had ads. When did that happen? I think it's in the last maybe month. I'm going to watch a video afterwards and see if I can Google it and see if it's obviously a new thing. Where are you now? Hello, Russell from Belgorod, Russia. Where are you now? I'm in Russia or Australia. Where in Russia? Yes, I'm here in Moscow. We live in a Prelivka, which is in the southwest of Moscow, not too far from Vnukovo Airport. So if anyone doesn't know, in Moscow, there's 4 airports in Moscow, 3 major ones and 1 smaller one. Vnukovo is more well known for a lot more of the low-cost airlines flying in and out of there. Also, the Turkish Airlines flies to Turkey from there, so we're going to go to Europe. And we're just down the road from there, literally 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. That's an easy way where I tell people where I live in Moscow. Oh, I know Vnukovo Airport. Oh, I'm close to that. So, yes. We were only in Australia for 9 days, by the way, when we went. So it was a very quick there and back trip. Do people who work on cruise ships get attached to the actual ship? Like I remember the Queen Elizabeth cried, the Queen, when her ship was decommissioned. Yes, I think even crew members do. Probably more so officers, like deck and engine officers and senior management who spend 1 or 2 or 3 years on the same ship. The cruise lines want to keep senior management on ships longer than the general crew, who might do a 6 or 7 or 8 month contract, 9-month contract, and maybe not come back. Whereas they want the senior management to be on there to keep the management stable and the same management that run the ship or the daily operation of the ship. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like with Carnival Horizon, I went to the shipyard. We brought it out from brand new. We were there when they were still painting it in the yard. We were still doing the shop setup from scratch. We literally were in the yard where they were building other ships. So yeah, you get attached to something because you live, sleep, eat, breathe the ship, even for 6 or 8 months. You make some good friends on there. You live very close quarters with other people. So, obviously Queen Elizabeth and the Cunard ships have got a lot of history. So yeah, definitely people get attached to them. Crew members will always, love to hate the job that we're doing. Love to hate it. I think that's the best way to put it. 99% of the time we love it. 1% we don't, because we don't want to be there. Something's gone on that day. Something's good or bad, but otherwise, the crew that you meet on the ships, like when I was on Horizon and on Dream, when COVID kind of kicked in, the crew members know their job, they know their tasks, they know their responsibilities, their duties, and are very much professional people. Once you've learned the system of living and working on a ship, it becomes easier and easier slowly. Initially going on a ship first time as a new hire, it's very difficult. But once you've got over that hump of that, it always becomes easy to work on a ship. Do kitchens after sanctions? Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the sanctions word from videos. I've created a playlist, a Moscow supermarkets playlist. So if you can somehow find the playlist section of the channel, I'm just basically moving videos across to that because they're not in the right playlist at the moment. Jin Mong, I love your videos, YouTube videos about Russia. Thank you, Jin Mong. Thank you so much. Greetings from Kazan. We are still living in Russia and loving our time here. How was your time in Aussie land? It was good. Yeah, it was very short. We were in Australia for 9 days. I'll mention this a few times, So we actually flew originally from Moscow, Doha to Bali. We were literally in Bali for a day and a half. Then we flew to Perth for 9 days. And we flew back to Bali, and we had over 2 weeks, 14, 15, 17 days on the way back. Then we flew back to Moscow. So, yeah, it was very quick. I did a lot of things that I needed to do, particularly things like banking, paperwork, taxes, things that I just can't do from here that I was able to do. So it was good to get those things sorted out. I saw Bonnie M in Vladivostok. Wow. Bonnie M. Yes. Well, that's crazy. Love from Germany to Russia. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have you been to Penguin Island? It's close to Rottnest. I have never been to Penguin Island. And we lived on Rockingham foreshore, Sam. We lived just, I think, what was the park called? I think it was called Anzac Park, where we lived. It was literally 2 streets from Rockingham foreshore. And then we could literally walk down there, go to the fish and chips and whatever you wanted on the foreshore there. We never got to Penguin Island. It's crazy that I've never been there. And even before meeting my wife, I'd never been there. Do you have any talents? Hidden talents? I guess doing YouTube and being able to hold an audience and being able to make videos. I guess that's my talent. I worked on cruise ships in the duty-free shops, particularly doing alcohol and tobacco sales, similar to what you'd see at the airport, the duty-free stores. So I guess my talent is really sales, conversation, selling, upselling, adding on. I guess that's my talent, really. Anything to do with retail, I can basically come into a place, tell you what's right or wrong with it very quickly, what you can do to fix it, how to improve it, not take my advice, keep going, still don't make money. You don't speak Russian. Yes, I've only learned the basics of what I need to meet and greet people. Здравствуйте, очень приятно, Yeti Bella Blue, yellow blue bus, Yeti Bella Blue. A lot of silly words that I tend to learn that are really not easy to put into a conversation. One of those. I would love it if you would video one of those moments when you tell queue jumpers off in English at the bus stop. That would be too funny. Yeah, Mozzie, the supermarket video that I did last week, the one in Globus, if you go back and, well, you won't see it because it's cut out, but there was the bit where I'd walked around and got from the bread section. I was at the cheese section, and then I was just by the milk fridges, and then there was a crowd of people like grabbing things off this trolley, and they were obviously all markdown items. And there was a whole lot of babushkas, or elderly ladies, or grandmothers, mothers, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, oh, this is where everyone is in the supermarket. 'Cause it was it was like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so it wasn't a busy time in the supermarket. And I'd walk through knowing it normally gets busy like 5, 6 p.m. onwards. And there was a crowd of people. And I'm like, this is where all the people are in Globus. They're here. And this lady turns around and she's like, leave, get out of here, go. And she's like, go home. I'm like, I live in Moscow. Where can I go to? Go home where? And then someone said, oh, you shouldn't be filming. I'm like, I'm allowed to film in a public place. What's technically not allowed is filming people's faces. But I do my best to not do that. But obviously it's difficult in a public place like a supermarket. 99.9% of people have no problems with me doing that. I mean, if I was to hold my camera up and confront people, I think I might get beaten by some lady's handbag. Yeah, I did want to make a video of that bus station because it's a very busy spot there. I mean, you know, I can make the video in the supermarket when it was quiet at 3 o'clock, but that place gets very busy. 5, 6 p.m. when people are finishing work. The shopping center is open until 10 p.m. That bus station, metro station area there is very, very busy with people. I mean, anyone that lives in Moscow that goes through a metro station will know there's a never-ending flow of people. But I just sometimes film when it's quieter and it doesn't look as busy. Blogging Trucker, hello. Hello to you in New York, if you're in New York. Hope you're doing well. You're planning to have kids? No. Well, we've talked about it, and we don't have a plan to have kids. Do you know what it'd be like to? Do you know what it's like to have kids in Russia? Well, my wife's friend, that's who we went to visit on the 9th. We went to visit them actually to see their baby because they've just recently had a child or a daughter. About 4 months ago. No, 5 months ago now, I think it was. So we went to see them. Primarily, we went for a walk in the park. It was just easier than being in their apartment, you know. So, have you found any good beer in Russia? I honestly don't take any attention to which beer I drink when I buy it. I just buy whatever one is in, like a lager beer or a light beer or not a dark beer. So yeah, I'm not too bothered. I'll probably drink a different one every time I buy them. We've got a Krasnobilo downstairs, which is called Red and White Shop. I have made a video on that Russian liquor store, I think I've called it. Russian liquor store. Is my video frozen? Why does it do that? I'm sorry if it's frozen, yeah? Drove past a Spa corner store in the next suburb from my house, and I remembered your last Spa video. Yes. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, it's it's kind of interesting when you don't think about it, then you see them everywhere. We don't have it anywhere we live in this region of Moscow. There is another one just up the street from the one in Moscow center on Tverskaya Street, but it's more of a kind of a express one, like a Spa Express or quick convenience store. There is another supermarket that I want to go to in Moscow center, which is kind of another secret supermarket, which is also kind of in a lower level of a building. And it's a more of a cheaper version. It's not Spa in terms of the quality, the look, the feel, but I might go and do that video as well because that was the original Moscow secret supermarket video I wanted to do, because from the entrance of it, you can see the Kremlin from literally the entrance of the supermarket. And I always had this sort of thing that, you know, where does the people from the Kremlin go supermarket shopping? Yeah, so can't you train a bear to clean the dishes? Yes, if we have bears running around everywhere in Moscow. I'm scared to go out my apartment for bears. Yes. But the most important event is to celebrate your dad's birthday. Yes. Thank you, Milani. Yes, that was actually that was the reason there was quite a few reasons to go back to Australia for those 9 days. My dad's birthday was on the 19th of March. I don't think I posted a photo in the Telegram group. I'll have to post it. We had a group photo. Well, we didn't really have a group photo. It was just a photo of us all sitting around having dinner together, my sister's family. And then my uncle or my dad's brother came as well. So yeah, that was the number one reason. Yes. Now my mum's asking what we're doing for her birthday in October. I did kind of someone unofficially suggested that she come to Moscow for October, November, but obviously it's just too cold by then. And I suggest I'll just meet you in Bali. It'd be easy for me to go to Bali and then my mum come to Moscow. So, oh, thank you so much. You're learning a lot about my country, I guess, about Russia from watching my videos in Russian or in English. Thanks. How cool is to see them in Vladivostok? Yeah. Have I seen any interesting wildlife in Russia? No, not really. I've not even been to the Moscow Zoo. There is actually a shopping center. Well, it's actually a outlet mall called Vnukovo Outlet. It's not far from the airport, actually. It's only up the road from us. And it has an outdoor zoo there. And I filmed that outdoor Vnukovo outlet in a video. And it's got like animals that you can go and feed, and chickens and ducks and all sorts of things, and horses. And it's kind of part of the grounds of the outlet shopping center. I'll have to see how I've got that worded. It's probably like shopping mall under sanctions. And I want to get all of those videos and put them with the name of the location where I went to in the video. So yeah, no real interesting wildlife. Hello from Chorley. Chorley, UK. I've lost today. I'm lost today because in Liverpool in Eurovision today, but I didn't know. Motorways closed. I'm going back to Flint, North Wales, and I hope motorways will be open by now. Yeah, I know on a Telegram group that I follow here in Russia, I guess mostly in Moscow, the people, they're all asking, is there any like Eurovision watch parties in Moscow, maybe at a bar or a pub or a cafe? And everyone's asking, is there Eurovision watch parties going on? So yeah, I saw that it was in Liverpool. So yeah, it's kind of like Moscow for the Victory Day, where they close down all the roads around the center and everything. And then they change even some of the exits from the metro. Okay, it's probably not as big a deal as Eurovision, but and then you go in there not knowing. I'm not frozen. Okay, it looks like I was on the other screen. So thank you. Upload a couple of those cutout bits of your videos, like a Traveling with Russell bloopers moment. Yeah, I kind of just delete them. I don't think to keep any of my old footage, although some people keep hard drives and hard drives of old footage. I kind of film something, upload it, then I delete it. I kind of was thinking about leaving that in where the lady came over to me, because she actually grabbed my arm and then she kind of went to pull me away from me holding my camera. And she literally grabbed my arm, and I told her, you can't grab my arm. This is like, it's not possible that you can do this, like, it's not so much that it's assault, like, in other countries it would be accused of that. It was just, a babushka upset with me filming her finding some discount cheese. Yeah, I definitely was trying to cut it off as it's right where there's the bit where it shows all the people grabbing things from the shelves, and then it just cuts away from that. Yes, Russians that have read some of that. Russians have 70% of Russians have a cat. Many have dogs as well. My question is, would you like to have a pet yourself? Yes, my wife and I have talked about this 1,000 times about getting a cat. The only thing I've definitely set rules with my wife about, if we do go back to Australia, if we do go to live in Australia or something, there's no possibility of us bringing the cat. I mean, obviously you can do the paperwork, you can get the injections, you can quarantine the cat, bring it to Australia. But I've said that to my wife 1,000%. If we get a cat, it's not coming to Australia. It'll have to not come to Australia. We've house sitted for our neighbor's cat a few times when we're in the other apartment in the same building, right? So we definitely want to get a cat. My wife looks at them on on these websites, like Avito is like the online like Facebook marketplace. And I just told her we should just go to a local pet haven here where they've got, they lost and missing cats and abandoned cats, and go look for one there. It would be perfect for an apartment. That's why a lot of people have cats, because it's the apartment living that it sort of suits. Did I know about Pavlova, named after Anna Pavlova? Yes. Can you find Pavlova in Australia? You can, but not really like the big Pavlovas. They tend to be kind of smaller mini ones. Yes, definitely know about Pavs, or Pav. We call them Pavs. There's actually an Australian footballer, Sam, you'll know, Matthew Pavlich, called Pav as well. Yes, get a cat. It's a treat. It's a trendy dessert which is considered exquisite. Yeah, there's so many desserts here, though. I mean, every shop you go to has got some sort of dessert, snacks, cakes, pastries. It's kind of like not kind of in Australia you'd think about it as a dessert, whereas in Russia there's a bazillion other things that you'd think of first before getting a pavlova. Get a bear instead. Yeah, it's hard to take them for walks, though. People can be so rude sometimes. Yeah, it's Katrina. Obviously, I'm sure you're from Russia with your name, and you understand that. I mean, the one thing that's obviously confronting for them when I hold my camera and I'm speaking or I'm filming, everyone has a cell phone these days. Everyone records things, events, situations. I know that is normal in the whole world. Obviously, me as a English-speaking YouTuber doesn't look good. It was, I've had where I went to one of the Dar supermarkets, and there was a lady at the end trying to carrying about me filming. I was filming the generals where the cash registers were and the entrance and exit was, and this lady just wouldn't give up. And there was another lady that I was chatting to in English who would just happen to be standing where I was standing. And I told her, can you just explain something to her? And she couldn't even get it through to her that, that I was not filming her. I was just showing the shop, and it had nothing to do with her in the video. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can understand from their point of view. If I put myself in their shoes, would I like to be filmed, grabbing discount cheese off the stand? But it's what it is. Adopt a wolf. Oh, thank you. Infinity Project. Grey Wolf, Infinity Project. You don't walk a bear, you write it. Walking a bear would be a live stream. Yeah, that would go viral very quickly, wouldn't it? It's like people having like a alpaca or a whatever one of these random animals is. Yeah, cat sanctions. No cats in Australia. They eat the wildlife. If you get a cat, please don't get a hairless one that looks like aliens. Yes, my wife likes those cats, and I heavily dislike them. I'm sorry if you've got a hairless cat or whatever this breed of cat is, but my wife does like them, and I don't. So you have a robot voice. I know wolves pretty good. The camping club had wolves. Camping club had wolves. Joseph Johnson, hello, by the way. Thank you so much, everybody. How long are we? Oh, okay. We'll go for a little bit longer, I think. We've got 40 people watching, which is nice. Thank you. And 54 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Let me just press. Yes, I'm just looking on my other screen over there. 54 likes. That's really amazing for 40 people watching and then 54 likes. Yes. Yeah. Hairless Cats and Matthew were hairless head Russell. I'm not sure. I've lost the whole story here. Hairless cat to match your hairless head, Russell. Thanks, Bebel. Yes, I need to have a shave. I didn't go out today, obviously. I'm still here at home. I've had a bit of a lazy Saturday today, and that's why I don't look amazing on camera. You can always tell when you watch different videos, if I had a shave, if I've not, if I've cleaned up before I left the house or not. Wisconsin had wolves, big wolves. Wow. I think we got wolves in Perth. I guess we've got dingoes, the wild animal dogs, I guess, wild dogs. When I went to South Africa, this is going back more than 10 years ago now. I went twice to visit friends over there. And I went to Kruger National Park on a 3-day trip, kind of like a private trip where you go with a guide and a driver, and you go in the open back truck and drive around and so on. And we actually saw African wild dogs on one of the safaris. You go on like a morning safari, afternoon safari, night safari, kind of do 3 per day. And we saw them, and actually you kind of know you've seen something rare when the driver and the guide has got their camera out taking photographs. And they said that seeing African wild dogs was kind of rarer than seeing elephants and giraffes and zebras and things like that. So Wolves just lost to Man U 2-0. Yeah, I watched the photo of the Champions League midweek. I watched the 2 different matches. I pretty much only watch those in terms of watching football. What's the time in Moscow? It's 7:41 p.m. We are 5 hours difference from Moscow to Perth. So if you're watching 6PR now, it'll be John Lewis or whoever is the after midnight guy on the weekends. I like to sometimes listen to 6PR radio. But with the 5-hour time difference, you're kind of you're listening to different daytime events at nighttime and nighttime events in the daytime. 7:41 p.m. And it's still, actually, it's probably lighter outside than it seems in the kitchen. It's still kind of clear skies outside. I'm not sure what time sunset is meant to be today. Let me see. What time is sunset? It's 19 degrees as well, by the way. Feels like 16 outside in Aprelivka. Sunset is at 8:30 tonight. Sunrise at 4:25 in the morning. 16 hours and 5 minutes of daylight today. Yeah, 4:25 till 8:30 sunset. So yeah, there's another 45 minutes of the sun not setting. But it's just dark in here because the kitchen's dark, the flooring is dark. So maybe I'll put the other light on. Sorry. Might be better. Oh, now I'm really need to clean my shirt here a little bit. Let me just see if this light will change color. I think this one is better, isn't it? I think. Yes. No, you're a nice guy. Everyone else would definitely have kept the footage of the babushka attack as it's a YouTube sensationalism clickbait. P.S. You don't have a robot voice. In fact, it's very animated. Thank you, Mozzie. Yes, thanks. Let me just close these. I'm trying to have as less windows open when I live stream to keep the oh, now I've gone very. That's better. Now I've gone very off color. Yeah, I don't want to keep them kind of things in my videos when they're part of the video. So I'll either stop recording or just switch the camera off or cut it out of the edit of the video. Church camp had wolves. The church had dogs to keep the wolves away. Wow. Oh, yeah, 2:40. Yeah, so it's plus 2 more hours from Perth to Sydney, then plus 5 hours from Moscow to Perth. I'm going to bed. Have a good stream. Thank you, Sam. Catch you later. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We'll go for, I think, either 10 minutes or 20 minutes more, I think that's about a nice time to go for the live stream. How do you feel about robot vacuum cleaners? Do you have one at home? Yes, this is, I'm thinking about buying one. People must be so lazy because those things have been a trend for a while now. Yeah, you can buy them here. I've seen them in all the different shops, even in Globus Supermarket has them. I think they're just a bit of a, well, I think I actually brought a Dyson vacuum from Australia to Moscow a few years ago. My wife wanted me to bring one back that we had in Australia. Well, 2 years ago. I brought that in my luggage when I came back from Perth to Moscow. So my wife wanted this Dyson forever and ever and ever. And then we got it, right? And then now she'd mentioned about it, this robot vacuum that can just run around on the wood floor here. I guess they do a good job. I think it's just a technology thing, right? You want something cool like the digital fridge, like the app on your phone for the lights in the house, opening and closing the curtains. Yeah, we've never had one, so I don't have any experience how good they are. So for everyone that only can type Russian in chat, I do not mind translating for you. Oh, thank you. If you're here in the future and I'm online, you're just... Yeah, no, go for it. Yes, please. If you want to translate anybody, if anyone's typing in Russian, I guess there is a few people here and there doing it. Illinois has no wolves except one Wisconsin wolf. Made it to Galena, Illinois. Wow. Did subs who unsubscribed when you posted the iLeft video resubscribe? Yes. Well, I don't know that, Mozzie. Did subs unsubscribe when you posted the iLeft video? Personally, I had just discovered your channel and I was disappointed as an Aussie in Bali. Was disappointed as an Aussie in Bali is very pedestrian, nothing new. Right. Yeah. There was definitely. Let me see if it's still. Let me see. Oh, I can just go back here, can't I? Let me see what the number is, just for fun, shall we? Just for fun. What the number of the people that unsubscribed is. I won't put it up on the screen because it'll give way too many things away. I left Russia. What does the future hold for me? It was down to minus 23. Well, minus 30. I think it was I'm sure it was minus 46 at one point. I guess people resubscribed on that day. And now it's at plus 86 as of 56 days later. So it definitely was minus in the beginning. 23 minus 4, then it goes to plus 1, plus 7, plus 15, plus 25. So yeah, plus 86 it's on now. So there's definitely people that unsubscribed initially. I think most videos, well, not most videos. Let me have a look at the one from Zara. Okay, it's on plus 50 subscribers. Okay, so yeah, that's where people physically unsubscribe while they're watching a specific video. Let me just get back to this other screen. Where is it? This one. Control room. You can't sort of see if people did resubscribe or not. Maybe they just checked the channel later and then subscribed again when they saw Russian content. There's no way of knowing. On a specific video, you can see the graph of plus or minus, and then you can just go to the monthly one. And then you don't know who they are, right? Who is that subscribed or not subscribed? Is in Balkini. Another YouTuber I watch is in Balki. Balki? Is that a place? I don't know. Yeah, the idea with the Bali videos, well, there wasn't really any videos as such. I just did a supermarket one, a shopping center one. Most of the time, or 99% of the time, I was with my wife, and she doesn't like being in the videos. And she doesn't like that blogging style where I hold the camera, where we do things together, walking around, going for lunch, going for breakfast. And that was the same in Australia. I didn't want to film things when I was with my family or parents or my sister. They don't like that either. So my mum's okay on it. I think my dad hasn't been on one. My mum's been on a couple of videos. The thing for Bali is, if I was to do videos there, I'd want to do like hotel reviews or videos that are that would be more what do you call this? I just realized as well, where they're searchable videos or evergreen videos, like whatever the name of the hotel is, like review, hotel review or resort review. I just realized I didn't put the donation alerts. I didn't even mention about people donating. What's going on? I'm very bad today. Yeah, there is obviously ways if you want to donate to the channel. I guess I can mention it now. I pinned a comment there with either SberBank if you're in Russia. Donation alerts also if you're in Russia. If you're outside of Russia, donation alerts works as well for anyone outside of Russia. Also, super chats work. Let me just pop this screen out so I can see it. There we go. The last live stream must have been 6 days ago, because that was the last donation to donation alerts. So yes, if anyone does want to support the channel, all the money from the channel is not going to me having lunch, going to, I don't know, what would I do? What would I spend it on? I don't know. Going to the shopping center and buying new clothes. It's pretty much only for the point of making videos, buying equipment, buying microphones, buying lights and things like that. So, or paying for my bus ticket to go somewhere to make a video. So yeah. What type of scams to look out for while traveling in Russia? Yeah, I guess the guys at the airport that want to charge you more for the taxi. Oh, that's probably the one scam to look out for, is at the airport. Scams, I guess, you can always just be wary of pickpockets. I guess that's any public transport that you go on. Rock and Russian Russell, not Bali Russell. Glad you made your way back. Hope you had a nice time with your family in Perth. Yes, definitely did. Yeah, it was very good. It was, a few more days would have been nice, just to kind of breathe a little bit and sit on the sofa and relax a little bit. That was, we just had a lot of things every day planned to do this on this day, this on that day, this on that day. Your price comparison videos are very informative, and it reflects on the Russian cost of living. Can you compare the average wages in Russia so as to compare the purchasing power, i.e. bracket creep? It's near impossible, Tim, to do average wages in Russia. Anybody that's watching that's from Russia will tell you that the average wage, if you Google it, or the average salary, is not really what the average is. What the average is on Google is far less than what you even get paid at KFC or at Kuzny Tochka, at Burger King. There is also, I forget the different names, like white salary, gray salary, black salary as well, where there's an amount that you're getting paid and there's another amount you're getting paid. And it's just something that you can't really put into a video, because somebody in Moscow in the center who works in the business district or in a management position is earning a different money from the guy sweeping the streets, for instance, or in an unskilled labor job. And it's just, it doesn't matter what number I put, it's all going to come down to apples and apples, and it's just not easy to make that comparison. Prices competitively speaking seems more affordable, like bread and milk, etc., for essentials compared to Australian prices. That's very true, yes. I mean, the cost of living in Australia is not cheap either. I mean, even we were there for a short time, but just cost of things in the supermarket, anything we went out to do and spend money on and things like that. I know how hard it is to earn money, and how easy it is to spend money is, can just be as easy, right? And comparing bread and milk and so on is easy to put the price up on the screen and then compare it in your head. I mean, there's a few different indexes around the world. I think the most famous one was the Big Mac Index, where you can judge the world's economy based on the price of a Big Mac in every city in the world. There was also one called the iPod Index, I think it was called. I'm not sure if there's a new one since then, where it was the price of an iPod, Apple iPod everywhere in the world. And that was how you would judge the world's economy. The Big Mac Index, I think it's still relevant. I don't know if there's a new version of that. The price of a single Big Mac from any McDonald's in the world, and you can put a list from highest to lowest. So, Mozzie, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. 20, I guess that's Aussie. Is that? I guess you're in Australia, so it's Aussie, right? What am I thinking? Yes, thank you. That's very nice of you. Mozzie, where are you in Australia? My wife just asked, are you not sleepy yet? Because it's after midnight. My wife's listening to me chatting here. Do you want to wave, Jen? Oh, I'm waving. It's out of focus for you versus me. Okay. So, Dyson is a cool vacuum cleaner. Yes. The impact of the Russian sanctions seem very minuscule. At the grocery store, yes, I guess some of the brands have left. Some of the bigger corporate brands have they left? They're still here, but they're renamed and reworded and respelt. Kit Kat is the one I talk about a lot because there's certain things that I eat and drink, and Kit Kat's one of them. And there's a good, what's it called? Good Bar, I think it's called. It's not Kit Kat, and it's just weird. Certain things are not there. I mean, there is an abundance of Russian-made food. If every international brand left, the supermarket would still have things in it. Hello. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Hey, Russell. Do you live in Russia? Yes. I'm in a Moscow region in a town called Aprelivka. That's the balcony for the apartment right there. I'm still impressed. Impressed that coffee still makes it to Russia. Yeah, coffee is one of the things that is not from Russia, or one of the things that they don't have in Russia. I mean, 95%. Oh, what did I just do there? Oh, okay. It stars the. Oh, that's interesting. It stars the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one thing actually with the coffee. That it's all imported. So, I mean, the thing is, most of the countries where coffee comes from are friendly countries with Russia. So that's why they'll still forever be coffee. Coffee's gone up in price. I mean, my wife drinks coffee. She drinks a lot of tea as well. Yeah, we're in Russell's apartment. Yes. What video cost you subscribers? I guess that was the main one. In terms of the thing is, over time they end up going from a minus to a plus. The videos, so there's not really any video that's minus subscribers. Some of them are minus initially, so where it might be another supermarket video, another shopping center video, and people are wanting me to go to Vladivostok or Lake Baikal and make a nature video, but the niche of the channel is not that niche. So, if people have unsubscribed because the content hasn't changed, then I can't do a lot about that, right? That's just how the content's sort of done. Who's cleaning the kitchen? Well, my wife just got home from the shops, so she went to the shops and back, and now she's having a small snack, I think. Having something to eat and something to drink. That is Russell's spouse? Yes, that's Jen, my wife. She's literally been in 1 or 2 videos. Where are we here? Thank you, Tim, for the super chat as well. Or super chat. Tim Brian Tufunga. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. I really appreciate the super chat. Again, the money goes into, basically, I do YouTube as a job, if you want to call it that. My wife, we were sitting on the sofa last night watching TV, and my wife argued about it, like, what is my job? And you're just a YouTuber. I'm like, no, I'm a content creator. And that's what I do as part of making the videos. So, should have fuel and eggs index, how much you can buy for monthly salary. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go do a petrol station video soon. I literally can walk to the one from my building here. I can see it from the window, about the price of fuel in Russia, because it's really not changed. It never will change. There's that much oil and gas here that there'll be a very tiny change. Russia is one of the most internet covered and advanced countries in the world. About 90% of the population has internet access. Yes. Can you compare it to Australia's? Yeah, right. I mean, Australia's so vast, right? I mean, I think the government always wanted Australia to have a large percentage of the country covered by internet. But obviously, the fact that 80% of the country has got no population. Yeah, everyone's got a phone here with internet. I mean, we don't have a home phone here. We both have our mobile phones, which has got the internet on it. So, yeah, there's no shortage of people who have internet access. Vacuums used to be very bad when I was a kid. Yeah. What's the name in Russian for vacuum again, Jen? What's the name in Russian for vacuum? Polysos. Polysos. My wife wouldn't let you. Yeah. Oh, you're at a business meeting. Oh, comrade, hello. Sorry if you're watching or not watching. I guess people can watch the replay back later. So, he's in Melbourne. Mozzie's in Melbourne, by the way. So it's must be 1 a.m. now. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. now for Mozzie in Melbourne. Yeah. Said hi to me when I commented in chat. I want to see your channel. Do you have Russian language? I know very little Russian. I know a little bit. Chut по-русски. But it's very chut. Huh? And that's all, yes. Did you go to the metro train parade today? No, I'm going to go tomorrow. Yeah, I know it's today and tomorrow, the train parade on the big circle line. So, yeah, I'm going to try and go tomorrow. And somehow, apparently, you just have to wait for them to come by. So, yeah, hopefully. Was a problem, and they used to add roast barley to it. So the nation had enough and everyone hated it. They added barley to coffee in the Soviet times, Jen? They mixed barley in the coffee to water it down. Yeah. Wow. And everybody didn't like it. What do you think of Andrew Tate? I don't have an opinion about him. I think, obviously, why he's in Romania and what he's doing is his decisions. He has a massive following, though. So I'm here in Brisbane. Oh, in Brisbane. Tim, thank you. Tim and Mozzie, thank you, both of you, for being part of the live stream. And Tim, who did the super chats in Brisbane, Jen. Or Brizzy, they call it. Or Briz Vegas. You guys call it Briz Vegas. Not Brizzy. Boys on Railway still have... yes, they do. Ozone and Wildberries still have Zara, H&M, Apple, and other brands. Yandex Market has tons of IKEA. Yes. Like it was bought from the closed IKEA stores officially and now is sold on Yandex Market. Yes. True. Yeah. 20 million objects is what Yandex Market acquired to sell on Yandex Market from IKEA. 20 million items. I mean, just how many trucks worth of stuff that is and how they logistically sell it and ship it and deliver it to your house. Even that's mind-boggling. Robert Tim's coffee. Italian espresso tastes like real coffee, but no need for filters. Yes, we have Robert Tim's in Australia. What's the one that you bought, Jen? The coffee. The one that you brought, the coffee bags. Of Victoria. It's not called Victoria. Yeah, Victoria. There's a brand of coffee that my wife bought in Australia. We went to bring it to Bali, and then we forgot to take it with us, and then Victoria. Victoria. Oh, yeah. This is the one that we brought from Australia. Victoria coffee bags. So it's basically like a tea bag, but with coffee in it. Yeah. So, if anyone knows Victoria. Bananas used to also be a problem in old Russia. Yeah, they're everywhere now, bananas. And I pointed out in a few videos that they're all from South America. Bananas have gone up a little bit in price as well since we came back from Bali. Not much, but IKEA closed its offline stores and went online, right? You know, choo-choo Russian, and you planning and expanding your language. I'm trying to expand it, but it's not as easy as I think it is to expand it. I'm on the loss of the Romanian truck. I thought I saw you in his live stream today. Yes, I think, did you mention that in the Telegram group? But on revealing the saved footage, appears it was somebody who looked similar and also had a phone gimbal. Oh, sure. So hopefully tomorrow I'll go and have a look at these trains going by. I'm not sure how I'll make a video, but I'll see what I can do. I've been in Moscow for just on 9 years total since coming here. Let me just press that. Sorry, I'm just going to make sure that the internet stays as strong as possible for the last bit of the live stream. Fireflux, hello, good to see you. 69 likes, thank you so much. And again, thank you for super chats. If anyone does SberBank or donation alerts, thank you so much. Donation alerts, I've got a thing on the screen, on my screen on this side. It's on that side, really. That I can see them come up if anyone sends them. The last one was sent 6 days ago, which was the last live stream. Dorogaya, Jen? I recommend starting by calling your wife Dorogaya. Dorogaya? Huh? Darling? Oh, it's like darling. Thank you, comrade. Thank you so much for suggestion. Wow, thank you, everybody. That's kind of cool. That starred. Wow, nice. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream. We will go for a little bit longer, as long as people are chatting and I've got questions to answer. It's still very interesting, this. Well, I guess now it's gone more in the bias. That washing up and cleaning the kitchen was 38% of votes, and 62% wanted a live stream. So 60-40. I imagine it's maybe 60% who like live streaming and 40% who don't like live streaming, maybe, or like cleaning the kitchen. I don't know. Yeah, Doric, yes. Russian word for vacuum cleaner literally translates as dust sucker. Yes. So if, let me just go, I'm jumping around here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, when I made the video at not DNS. What's the other store with the electronics, Jen? Not DNS? El Dorado. I made a video at El Dorado at our local shopping center with a friend who lives here in Aprelivka. And he said about dust sucker and peli sauce in the oh my gosh, I think it's definitely frozen now. Are you using the TV or the internet? Huh? Because everything's just gone off. Yeah? Everything just shut down. Huh? Computer shut down. The screen's just gone. The internet's just frozen. Huh? Yeah, it's just killed everything. Let me see if this is still working. Everything. Is everybody still here? I hope everybody's still here. Oh my God. Come on. What's happened? Are you still got the TV on or your phone on? Huh? Happy Traders Day. Today's Traders Day. Yeah, I think today, is it today or yesterday, was also the anniversary of the Moscow Metro as well, and that's why they've got the parade of the trains in Moscow. You can clean your kitchen later. Yes, after dinner I will. You're still on. Yes, I'm still here. Looks like your wife wants you to clean the kitchen with her. Yeah, so my wife went in the bedroom and put the TV on with the streaming television. So the television in our bedroom is connected to the same Wi-Fi. And pretty much when you switch it on, it connects to the streaming services like the EV, which is one of the apps for television and movies. And it basically, the internet doesn't like too many things at the same time, streaming at the same time, because obviously I'm using the camera, the microphone, two screens. So the technology to get this live stream is quite a lot. Yeah, I'd recommend DNS over any other shop unless it's CityLink. Eldorado. My computer's monitors are from CityLink, by the way. These exact monitors that obviously you can't see were one of the first things I bought when I came back to Russia 2 years ago, so that I can have the same setup here as I had in Australia. I had exactly the same monitors, and I bought these same Dell monitors for this setup. Eldorado and MVideo stores of electronics are horrible. Well, that's interesting. I haven't really bought too much Eldorado. What did we buy? We bought the coffee machine there for my wife's salon. Eldorado's, yeah, surprised they sold household stuff. Yeah, Eldorado and MVideo are the same company, but they're different trading names. Yeah, like Colorado. Hello from Samara. Hello. My name is Alex. Здравствуйте, Alex. You should film a metro station, and when you come out, go to the first store and make a video about it. Yeah, how convenient it is. I kind of want to do that with my local one in Solaris because of the fact that you kind of come underground out of the metro into the shopping center. Hello. What's your favorite book? I don't read books. I rarely read books. I don't think I've read one here in Moscow. My wife reads a lot of books. She actually has like almost like bookshelves of books. She really enjoys reading any kind of a lot of Russian history kind of stuff, and things that are non-fiction books from the past of Russian history. You froze on your end, but now on my end, I could hear you and see you. I was just a little bit upset. Someone asked earlier what triggers me when things go wrong. It's when the internet goes wrong at the exact time when I don't want it to go wrong. And it's raining. The internet wires do not like getting wet and constantly. Yes, yeah, it's a running joke when I'm chatting or skyping with my spouse, and it's very true, Grey Wolf. It doesn't take much for the internet to go a bit funny. Our router is also in the hallway around the corner. Kind of most of the routers in apartments in Moscow are by the door of the apartment because the wire comes through from the hallway. So they literally just drill a hole through the wall where the door is and then put the router on the wall there. It would make sense to run a Cat6 cable to my computer here, but you'd have to go around the corner down the hall. So see you are Sam. I'm not Sam. No, Sam's. If anyone knows Sam's Russian Adventure, that's Sam. And you're in, but it was fine. Sorry. Yes, Mozzie. Yeah, it's just I know. Like I switched the Wi-Fi because I've got Wi-Fi on the phone when I come home, so it goes from the phone network to the Wi-Fi in the apartment on my phones. So I just switch the Wi-Fi off them as well. So literally, and I've got try to shut all the windows down so it's not doing anything else in the background. Because it's easy for there's a couple more things on that I can shut down. Like a lot of things, the computer basically auto runs things that I don't need it to. The stream is just fine now. Yes, super. That's Eldorado. Back when I was 14, I bought a keyboard there, which was handed to me without a box, and it was glued to the shelf. Wow. Yeah, actually, this keyboard and mouse is from NVIDIA. I think that's the only thing I bought from NVIDIA. I'm sure it is. I bought my mobile phone from the Samsung store. It was cheaper at the Samsung store than it was at any of the Russian electronics stores. Even online, it was cheaper at the Samsung store. I think they had a special that day or that few days of the week when I bought it. If anyone watches the old live streams, I kind of did different fundraisers to be able to buy the new phone so that I can improve the quality of the filming of the videos. I film it on this Samsung now. And my wife ended up buying it basically with the difference. So it was my wife is the majority owner in the YouTube channel itself. So where I get super chats or donation alerts and things like that, that kind of goes towards what I'm going to buy for the channel. And then my wife ends up being the next majority owner in everything. So yes, it would be more cable stable with a cable. I've got the cable too. I had it for the other apartment and it's still in a wrapper. I literally bought it, that length of blue cable, and I just need to run it and plug it in. And I might do that now just to see if there's a notable difference in the internet speed. Or move the router. Yeah, I can't move it because this is a rented place. And where it's plugged in and where the cable comes through from they literally just drill a hole through the hallway wall, and it comes from the junction box in the corridor, and that's the closest place where they run the cable through and mount it on the wall for you. So yeah, the painting's still on the floor. Yes, it is. Sorry, it's still on the floor. I'm not sure even why it's there in that spot. It was actually on the balcony outside here. To go on the wall in the balcony because we wanted to kind of decorate the balcony now for summertime. Our internet provider is the local Aprelivka one. I don't even remember the name of it. I'm sure it's called something like TP Telecom Aprelivka or something like that. It's literally the local. It's the only provider in the town that has the Wi-Fi that we can connect to. So it's the only one. Yes. Wow. Okay, that took up some time of the live stream, which is good. 40. So we'll go for 19 more minutes. And pretty much my live streams are always 2 hours. That's my normal running time of live streams. So if that's good with everybody, then I'll be kind of happy that that's worked out exactly how I want it to work out. So yeah, now I've switched it all off. I can't see. Yeah, if anybody does want to join, if anyone has Telegram and you want to join the Telegram group or let me just find the link and I'll post the link to the Telegram channel because it's kind of neat. If anyone uses Telegram, oops, what happened there? This one. This is the link to the Telegram channel. Pretty much if you type Traveling with Russell in Telegram search, it will come up to the channel and then there's a chat. So that's where most people chat back and forward with each other. That's where I post pretty much day-to-day photographs or something that's happening. Hello from Estonia. Hello, Eric. Good to see you in the live stream. Now I'm getting itchy and scratchy now, and after standing up, I'm sorry. The phone and internet work on DC electric, and there is a battery with a charger in the phone company vault. Huh. Interesting. Someone tell us the word for little is malinky. I think that's small though, isn't it? Malinky is small. Yeah, pay around $5 for the home internet per month. Yes, it is cheap, the internet here. Wow, that went very fast then. Internet connection is, I pay $5 home internet per month, cable TV, and 150 channels. In the US, that price would be 50. Yeah, in Australia, we were paying, well, it was for 2 mobile phones and the internet at home, it was $148 per month. We were paying $50 for each phone and $50 for the home Wi-Fi, which we used a lot via the TV and streaming and things like that. Here it's, well, 8. So it's about $7 or $8 per month is the home internet that we use here. Maybe it's $9, $8. I know it's not a lot. Anyway, it's very cheap for what we get and for how well it works, even though it's on broadband internet, on Wi-Fi. When it rains, you're losing power from a moist. Okay. Since you mentioned paintings, I have a question. Would you like an AI art of yourself? Huh. What I want, comrade, is I want whoever the person was that did my Traveling with Russell picture. You could try to do an AI one. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know if from the screenshot it would work. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. If you post that in the Telegram group, if you're part of that, comrade, it'd be interesting to see how that interprets with AI. I've tried to use ChatGPT, but I'm just using whatever the free one is. And it's kind of just interesting when you put just general questions in there, what it comes back with, and where they're finding that from. You know what I mean? Like where they find the answers to the questions. Little in Russia is Malinki, yeah, or Mala. Lizici, little fox. Internet in Australia is crazy expensive compared to other parts of the world. It is. And considering Telstra, or what was Telecom Australia, has such a dominance in the Australian market. And then when broadband got brought into Australia and the government basically partly funded that and so forth, and the amount of money that they make. I've got shares in Telstra, not a lot of shares, but I mean, the problem with what they're doing is they've got to keep up with the new technology. So they've got to keep spending and reinvesting the money rather than just installing it and then stopping, and taking all the money from there. Yeah, considering what the rest of the world's internet infrastructure is and the price, it is crazy expensive. I agree. Yeah. Personal AI art. That's interesting. Use it for both personal AI arts and to get inspiration for furniture and interior design commissions. Wow. That's kind of cool that you do interior furniture, interior design, and furniture. Yeah, I'm one of the Telegram groups that I follow has got groups inside the Telegram channel. So it's kind of like sub groups inside the channel. So instead of just putting a general chat, there's kind of like life in Russia chat, Moscow chat, work chat, housing and rental chat. And it's pretty cool how they've got like groups, like subgroups inside the group. I hope that makes sense to anybody. I don't know how to do it for my channel though. That's the only, I've looked and can't figure it out yet. And I Googled and Googled it over and over. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching the live stream. I may slowly wind up. If anyone knows, I'm very bad at ending the broadcast and stopping the live stream because people are still here. And whatever people are still chatting, I appreciate anybody that's posting questions or asking things to keep the chat running along. 60-40 is how the poll ended up. 60-40. So I guess 60% was good out of 112 people. Yeah, that's kind of interesting that the poll came up like that. I want to try the ask a question. Start a Q&A. Ask viewers questions live. I don't know. I don't understand how this ask a question thing is. So I'm just going to post that there to see if people do that. Russia has a lot of Slavic words, and Russian has a lot of Slavic and Russian. It sounds practically like the English ones, like nose for nose, brovs for bro. Huh. Yeah, a lot of similarities. I guess, I don't know. It all was part of, I don't know about the long-term history of things, but I'll be well. Thumbs up, yeah. Wash. May that is Russia for you. May wash under water stream. But do you guys call it doing the washing up, or do you call it doing the dishes? When you like wash up from after eating and things like that, or cooking, do you call it washing up, or do you call it doing the dishes? Let's see that questions thing. It doesn't show any answers. Oh, do you like bread? Oh, there we go. It does work. But you can't see it on... I can't put it on the screen as a question, like from StreamYard here. But I can put, Comrade General says, do you like bread? Yes, I love bread, by the way. Thank you for the question. That's interesting. The question things work. Thank you so much. Gets a glitch. Oh, the test pattern. Yes. Get a glitch screen picture for ending your videos, or one of those TV circles with the colors. Yes, I know exactly what you mean, Mozzie. We do not like live streams. We love them. Thanks, Grey Wolf. That's so nice of you. Yeah, washing the dishes. Call it washing the dishes. In Canada, they call it doing the dishes. Yes. Yeah, washing up is, I guess that's an English or a British word that I got from my dad's side of the family. Do the washing up. Because really, they're not called dishes, they're plates that you eat off. You eat off a plate, not off a dish, if that makes sense. The dog does the dishes here. We have a spit shine. Nice. Yeah. Guess he licks up all the leftover food, right? Washing the dishes. Yeah, we don't. I guess dishes is not an Australian. It's not a word you say in Australia. You would say it as the British, like doing the washing up. That's interesting, isn't it? I might have to do that as the community poll question. I love these community polls on the channel, by the way, and the amount of people that respond to them. Open the water is cheap. Yes. Water is cheap in Russia. Yes. Yeah, that's the one thing. Electricity, water, gas is cheap here. I mean, okay, I'm sure the prices have gone up over the years to what they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But the general cost of living is still very, very reasonable here, to basically allow the entire country to have that reasonable price and cost of living. Yeah, some people that eat off banana leaves. Yes, when we were in Bali, a few times at restaurants, we had banana leaves. It comes on like a piece of wood, on a plank of wood with a banana leaf, and then whatever the dish is. Yes. Use the dishwashing machine. Well, I guess that's dishwashing machine, right? Or dishwasher. Yeah, it's just got a faulty button. The start. It's the start button. The only button we need is the faulty one. All the other buttons to choose, like the temperature and how long it is and rinse cycle, all work. But the start button is the problem button. Oh, here's to go wash up. Is to go wash yourself, right? Yeah, when you go wash your hands before a meal. It's very customary in Russia too that you go wash your hands when you go to a restaurant or a cafe or go to somebody's house before you eat. Oh, Peter, hey, how's it going? I think that's my Uncle Peter, I think. I can't see the icons. I wonder what Peter's icon is. Oh, it's a Superman icon, so maybe it's not my Uncle Peter. Sorry, Peter, if it's not you. Do you ever make a snowman? I've made one once. Actually, I did like a short video, like a live. I did a live Facebook live with my dad. I just my like messenger live with each other, like Zoom call. And we went outside to the playground. This is a few years ago. We went out on the swings and the slide in the playground, and we got snowballs and stuff like that. And my dad will tell me to this day that was one of his favorite videos that he's watched. Mozzie, yeah, that pineapple cutting video was from a few years ago when we went to the same place on this holiday, to Gili Air, and that lady never came around. In the 2 weeks we were in Gili Air, we didn't see that lady come back with pineapples. There was people selling jewelry and T-shirts and sarongs all day, every day, but there was no fresh fruit person walking by. Like, that lady would walk up and down the beach every day, and everyone would stop her for something, mango and pineapples. Yeah, that's over on my cruise channel, Mozzie, by the way. When I wash dish, I have very good ideas. Or maybe it gives you inspiration. Yeah, we never had one until we moved into this place, by the way, a dishwasher. So we never knew what one was until we moved here, and then it just doesn't work properly. There's something minor wrong. It's just an old machine since the apartment was built. And probably just the button. I reckon whoever lived here probably never used it really. And the buttons are just a bit stuck. Have to love those quokkas wrapped in a banana leaf. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. In Australia, or in Perth, it was called Quokka soccer. Some people or some very, very bad people were going over there and kicking the quokkas and calling it Quokka soccer. Yeah, not unusual. The most commonly used button is the most worn out one. Right, exactly true. Yeah, the only button you need for something to work, like the TV or the doorbell or something, or the whatever button, like even on my mouse, like this mouse now, this side is perfectly fine, but where my finger is on the other side, but it's this original Microsoft mouse. It's very grubby and dirty looking, but it's just this rubber's coming off now, but it works so well that I just don't want to get rid of it. No, it's Peter who loves your video. Sorry. Yes, my uncle has the same name, and I saw him on the last live stream, and and I was thinking for a minute, but I noticed you've got a different icon to what he has. Insert name. It's been a while since I've been able to make it on. Miss your channel. Sorry. Well, good that you're here, I guess. And I'm about to end in 4 minutes' time, so you might have to scrub back through to watch the video over. My eyes itching as well. And I'm ready to have something for dinner. Going to the Carnival Mardi Gras. Be thinking of you and your advice doing Palm Beach and Aruba after watching your video. Yeah. Just keep in mind, though, that's Palm Beach is kind of the general beach area where all the different hotels are. So was it the Sheraton? I forgot the name of the hotel there. You go to the Sheraton and just walk through the hotel, and there's a whole bunch of places you can stop wherever you like down there. In Aruba, it's and you can walk out of the terminal, and there's a lot of taxis that take everybody to the same place and bring everybody back from the same place. So if you didn't want to take the public bus like I did, it just especially if you're going to share a taxi with other people and divide that price by how many people are in your group. Right? And sharing taxis is a thing in the islands. It's not uncommon for you to share as many seats as there are in a minibus or whatever type of vehicle they've got. So don't think of it as a bad thing. Oh my God, I'm sitting with somebody I don't know. But all right, insight into the daily life in Russia. Keep it up. Thank you, AW. In the southern hinterlands of New South Wales. Wow. My wife, we watched yesterday, by the way, Farmer Wants a Wife episode, which is mostly all of the farms over on the east coast of Australia. And Victoria, Queensland, New South Wales. And my wife gets jealous because we obviously Perth, most of the farming is all basically the wheat belt area of Western Australia. It's not where the city is, of course, right? So it's a bit hard to explain to my wife how much regional areas of Australia there are versus the city areas. If you need a tape on, buy yourself a nice big mouse. Personal recommendation, Zet mouse. Yeah, I've had this one for so long. It's the one that's got the little dongle that you plug in. And it's got the wheelie. I like the wheelie. Can you hear that wheelie? I don't think the things picks that up. But I just like that scrolling wheel on there. The other mouse I had before, it's here. This one doesn't have the scrolling wheel. I don't like that one as much. So, the man from Uncle. Thanks, Mozzie. Yes, Uncle. It's very weird, like being as old as I am now and still calling him Uncle Peter, or just call him Pete. Peter or Pete. His actual nickname when he worked at the wharfs in Australia, he worked at Fremantle Wharf, where the ships come in, and he was doing the loading and unloading of all the different ships as a longshoreman. He was named Pommy Pete because he was born in England, then came to Australia when he was a teenager. He was forever nicknamed Pommy Pete. So he's always known as Pete, not Uncle Peter, So Eagle Beach is on the way. I think Eagle Beach is on the way to Palm Beach. Palm Beach has all of the hotels and the casinos, and there's shopping there, or little, kind of stands with souvenirs and stuff like that. There is really not that kind of things at Eagle Beach. It's just the beach with a few kind of beachside vendors. Whereas if you go down to Palm Beach, there's all of the huge hotels. Obviously, you'd have toilets and change rooms and the casinos there, and it's just much more normal. And you can walk out of the beach and go through a hotel to go back out to the road to get the bus or the taxi back. I think you might like her. Maybe you can mention the name of somebody. Sure, Russian blogger in Bali. Farmer needs a life because living on a farm is hard yakka. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I explained that to my wife, and I joke while we've been watching it, like farmer wants a Russian wife, or Russian girl needs an Australian farmer. I've been making up new names for the Farmer Wants a Wife show while my wife and I've watched the season, and she finds it funny. Star Factory for Australian actors. The huge number of A-list actors come from Australia. Yes. The one I went to school with, Sam Worthington, who was the guy from Avatar, Man on a Ledge. That was my claim to fame, going to school with Sam Worthington. Russia needs a good PR man. Tech Yes City. He's from the Gold Coast. Yeah, I don't really watch too many Australian YouTubers. Her name is Sasha in Bali, a Russian. Yeah, there's a lot of 42,000 Russians came to Bali from January 1st until March 31st. In the first 3 months of the year, 40,000 Russians came to Bali. That's just insane. There's a Bali Russian travel vlog. Oh, somebody has fireworks outside. Can you guys hear that on the microphone? Oh, they're right out the window. My wife's saying finish. I mentioned a few more super stickers to stop the ads. Yeah, I'll try to not I'll figure out why they're doing them and try to get rid of them, Mozzie, for you. Oh, you heard this fireworks? Yes. Yeah, there was some last night, and then again tonight. It must be somebody's birthday, or normally people do it for birthdays or party or something. I don't know about Victory Day because it's a few days past that now. Yeah, literally they were 50 meters from the house, out the window. The ones last night were crazy loud because I jumped up off the sofa when it happened. The ones tonight were done and dusted very quickly. Anti-aircraft. Yeah, it wasn't. No, it's that you could see the sparkles from the window there. Somebody must have just had them, because where we look from our window down, there's actually some regular houses. There's like a small kind of gated area with about 50 houses. So somebody must be there for the weekend, probably. I think a lot of people don't live there year round, and they just come for weekends. They're kind of like fancy Dutches, but they're basically year round houses. But people, I think, don't live there in most of them, because there's a lot of them that don't have lights on all the time. So gunfire, thank goodness we moved. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely you don't hear. I mean, the fireworks normally are not as close as that. So yeah, it was only for a few seconds too. The one last night went on for quite a while, because I even managed to get up to the window and have a look out the window and see which house it was coming from. Yeah, so YouTuber billing no longer works in Russia. YouTube Premium is gone, so can't see most of the channel icons. Pros, no add-ons. Right. Yeah, so basically, if you're watching YouTube in Russia, you don't get any ads or any pop-ups or anything, anything. So it's essentially YouTube Premium for free. Like Comrade just said there's no channel icons, so I can't see the channel icons unless I use it through a VPN. But as a creator though, the ad revenue that's created from videos that I put on the channel, if people are watching it in Russia, there's no ad revenue, or there's no ads shown to give you ad revenue from inside Russia. But my channel is set up in Australia, so things like super chats go through the AdSense program, which comes through Google, which goes to my Australian bank account on the 21st of every month. So that all works in terms of the loop of that working. But that's why I set up this donation alert separately. Buy me a coffee is in the channel description. PayPal is there if somebody wants to do PayPal. Is it Mother's Day there? Yeah, they don't really celebrate Mother's Day here so much. In Australia, yes, definitely tomorrow. I've got to message my mum. Here they tend to do International Women's Day. There's sort of other days that they celebrate. There's naming days for different people as well. So Women's Day is kind of more celebrated in terms of every woman in Russia, not just mothers, as in Mother's Day. Wow, the camping club, there is gunfire. Wow. If you use ad blocker on a PC. Yeah, I don't have that in my browsers that I use, so... Okay, everybody, I'm going to head out of here. It's just ticked over 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for watching the live stream, especially at short notice. Thank you for giving up your few hours on a Saturday evening to be here. Thank you again for people that did super chats. If anyone does donation alerts at some point while I'm not live streaming, they do come up on my phone. Also, SberBank, which is the bank account directly to my bank account. It's a very popular way that streamers like to be, I don't know, acknowledged, I guess. Yeah, thank you, Joseph, Fireflux, Comrade, Mozzie, Tim, if you're still watching. Yeah, cats are very afraid. Yeah, cats get very afraid of fireworks. Thank you so much. I can't pronounce your name, but thank you. Sunday morning, not Saturday now. Yeah, because of the time difference for the Australia and so forth. Thank you, Mozzie, Comrade. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm out of here. I'm going to have some dinner. I'm going to sit on the sofa for a little while and chill out. And like you said, my wife kept coming back and forward to get me to get the live stream off. She knows it's normally 2 hours anyway, so I should have started a little bit earlier. Maybe we'll do a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to go into Moscow to make a video or a couple of videos. I'm going to go see these the trains. There's a train parade going on one of the Moscow metro lines. Awesome live stream. Thank you, Grey Wolf. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you, Sempre. Thank you so much, everybody. Watch other videos. If anyone wants to comment on this video after it finishes, I'll be replying to comments on this video afterwards to keep up with the never-ending comments on all the videos. Have a nice dinner. Thank you, Taruk. To Kamal. I'm just going to call you Kamal. In Australia, we have a very famous singer called Kamal. Is tomorrow or Monday? Tomorrow is Sunday, and it'll be Sunday still. Saturday and Sundays are better for me to do live streams because generally more people would watch them. Yes, the train parade, Joseph, yes. Yeah, it's a very weird how they've set it up on one particular line. And there's a good chance when you're there, you may not see them because you've either missed them or they're on because it's on a circle line. So... yes. All right, everybody. I will put a video. I will schedule the live stream earlier. Turkey vote tomorrow as well. Right. Will Erdogan stay the president? Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks, Marlene. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. And broadcast. Bye, everybody.